Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hi, my name is Gina and I make videos about houseplants and houseplant related content, and I make new videos every week, and thanks for joining me here today. So in today's video, we're taking a look at my June faves, and those are all the plants and or planty things that have really stood out to me during the month. So typically I do like 5 plants. I'll pick out 5 plants that really stood out. That's what I've been doing. But today I only have I have 4 plants and 1 planty thing. So let's see, the first one, I'm gonna grab this one first because this one has been holding on for me all month, and it is my African violet. And this one is called RS Serpentine, and it has been blooming the entire month. And it's starting to fade. Some of the flowers are starting to fade. You can see they're turning a little bit kind of brownish. You can mostly see it on the back side. They get a little brownish. Some of the ones on the top are brownish. It's not as gorgeous as it has been through the month of June, but it's still beautiful. I mean, look at that. That's stunning. It's incredible. I love this plant. One little dead leaf in the middle, little brown leaf. So typically I'll just go ahead and I'll start snipping these blooms that are starting to fade, but I didn't want to touch it because I wanted you guys to see how it looks, what I've been looking at, even though they're starting to fade a little bit. So, and I think I did see some new blooms getting ready to open. Maybe they have opened already, but they're still low in the pot, so they haven't popped up out of the top yet. But yeah, it's just gorgeous. I just can't get enough of these African violets. I am just so enamored with my African violets. I have a whole shelf full, and I've even added a few new ones this month, or in the month of June. So if you follow me on Instagram, you'll have seen this plant because I have posted it on Instagram recently, and I'm going to include the photo. I'll put it right here so you can see when it was really at its most beautiful. That picture is when it was at its most beautiful, but it's still beautiful. But this one just really stood out to me during the month of June, and it's a favorite. All right, so the next one is this. It's a succulent. I believe it's a type of crassula. I'm not sure, I can't remember. I'm gonna look it up, and if I figure it out, the name will be up here. But this sits outside. This sits out on my patio, on my little patio table, and I look at it every day and I pass by it and I'm just like, that is the cutest stinking thing ever. And it brought me so much joy in the month of June. So I'm including it here for this month's faves. Isn't that cute? I found this pot at an estate sale several years ago, and I got it for like 50 cents or something like that, really cheap. It's terracotta, it does have drainage, and it's adorable. So the plant itself I picked up at Trader Joe's. Really good price. Trader Joe always has really good prices on their plants, and it really settled into this pot nicely. Like no issues. It's gone through many rainstorms in the month of June, some hail, and it is a trooper. I love how it looks like, kind of like just hair coming out here. My original thought was it would be like little tails sticking out, but now it just feels like it's more like just like ringlets, curly hair ringlets coming down, and it's adorable, and it's a favorite. All right, so this next one I stumbled across last month, and it is one of my little terrariums that sits back here on this table. So every now and then, so mostly I kind of like ignore these because they're self-contained, they're self-care. I don't know how to describe it, but you don't really need to do much with them. You don't have to water them, really. You don't have to do anything. And they just continue to grow. You do have to trim them every now and then. But so I just happened to, last month, I'll go through now and then and I'll pop the tops on them and just get a little fresh air. I'll just kind of blow some fresh air into the jars. And that's what I was doing with this one. So I grabbed the top, popped it open, and it was the coolest thing because the plants inside of here, they only have so much space. There's not a lot of room in there. They get to the top and they're stopped at the top. So when I opened it, it just like poof, it like poofed out. And I was just like, what? That is the coolest thing ever. And it's so beautiful. So I'm going to try it again. We're going to see if it does it. I don't know if it's going to do it again, but let's see. See, it just like, I don't know if it was captured on cameras as well, but it's like, it's pushed down and then it popped up. So this plant is the Peperomia antoniana, and I absolutely adore the pink. It has like pink stems. So the leaves themselves, do they have some pink? Yeah, some of the leaves down here in the jar are pink. And then the ones closer to the top are more greenish. But I just think it's such a pretty plant. And I do have this growing. I got this as a cutting on Etsy. When did I get it? December 17th. I think I ordered it on December 17th last year. And I have this growing in so many places. I have it in another terrarium on the shelf down here. I have one in my fairy garden terrarium. And that might be it. But it was just one little tiny cutting when I got it. Tiny, really tiny. And it has proliferated. It has grown a lot. And I probably should be trimming this and propagating, and I probably will, but you know what? Later. We'll do that later. So now we gotta try and get that back in there. Might be tricky. Gotta fit all those leaves in there. And we got it. So until next time, we'll pop it off again, see how it's doing. But yeah, so cute. So that's Peperomia antoniana, and in this little terrarium jar, and it's a favorite, June favorite. All right, so before I forget, it was mentioned in the comments, I don't know, I think maybe last video or 2 videos ago, I forget who it was, I can't remember, but someone said they were missing seeing Nikki and Nora. So guess who happens to be right here by me, sleeping. So I am just gonna swing the camera down so you guys can see her, those of you who love seeing Nora and Nikki, my 2 cats. There she is. She is all cozy down here, sleeping in one of her favorite spots. She's been hanging out with me so much lately. She's like my buddy. It's funny because when we first got them, we got them in 2015, and at that time we also had a bunch of crested geckos. And she was like just infatuated with these geckos. And unfortunately, I had I hate to say it, I had to spray her with a water bottle because she just wouldn't leave them alone. So I wasn't her favorite person, we'll say. in the beginning, in the beginning of our relationship. But now she's like, she loves me. She'll hang out with me, and she has forgiven me for doing that to her. And she is just the sweetest cat. She's just adorable and sweet. She's probably my favorite cat I've ever had, I would have to say. And she's so soft. Too bad Nikki's not here, although you should have seen him in the last video. I did a brief little cameo of him. So yeah, so there she is, cleaning her little paws. My sweet girl. All right, so back to our June faves, although Nora is a June fave too. She's a every month fave. All right, so I have one plant left, and I have one planty thing to share. So I think we're gonna save the last plant. We're gonna save the one plant left for last, and we're gonna do the planty thing. So here it is. This is Azamax. Yay, Azamax. If you know what this is, you know my glee. This is a bug killer. It's a botanical insecticide, miticide, and nematicide. And this, it says it's for organic growing. So I do believe now, you need to look this up for yourself because I'm not positive, but I think I remember reading you can put this on edible plants. So it's more safe than like some of your systemic bug treatments, which you can't at all put on to edible plants. Not that I eat any of the plants in my collection. I do not. But it's good to know that if I wanted to, it would be completely safe after using this stuff. So, the reason I have this is, like most of you, like most of us, I think, I battle bugs in my houseplant collection. So this year, my big battle has been, I would say, thrips. And then second, I would say, is spider mites. And then third is those mealybugs. Mealybugs, is that right? Yeah, mealybugs. So that's what I've been battling, and this stuff works on all of those bugs. Oh, and fungus gnats. Always fungus gnats, but to me they don't really count as a pest. They're more of just a nuisance, I think. But yeah, so this works on that also. So you can use this as a spray, a foliage spray, or you can use it as a drench. So you can mix this with water and just water your plants like you normally would, but with this stuff in it. And you can also combine it with your fertilizers, which I do. I'm always, when I try a new insecticide, I'm always so nervous. You know, I think I've read like they recommend trying it out on one plant, see how it reacts. But you know, I have so many different types of plants. I just go crazy and I just water them all and keep my fingers crossed and hope nothing happens. Nothing bad happens to the plant. I hope something bad happens to the bugs. But so far, everything has responded really well to this. I've even given it to my African violets. They do great with it. Nothing has died from this stuff. And mixing it with fertilizer has been completely safe. I use Fox Farm Grow Big fertilizer, and this and that mix great together. So let me show you what it looks like inside the box. And I'm going to link this in the description. I get it from Amazon, and it's so scientific looking, isn't it? Kind of like chemistry stuff here. I was never big into science or chemistry or anything like that, so this is kind of fun for me. But anyway, so I use it as a drench. I have not made a spray out of this yet. So what I do is I mix this into a gallon of water, just tap water, And if you see here, there's like measurements listed here. So you can do a 1/4 ounce or you can do a 1/2 ounce. I always do the 1/2 ounce. And all you do, let me make sure these are closed. They are. So all you do is you squeeze the bottle, and see, it's the stuff comes up here, and it's so easy. And you just squeeze and it starts filling. See it going up? Not very fast. Maybe I need to open this a little bit to get some air in there. Squeeze, and I fill it up to the 1/2. It's not cooperating very well here. Usually it goes faster than that, but I'm making a video, so it's going to be more difficult, I think. Let's do some more squeezing. Get it up to that 1/2 ounce line right there. So now it's at a 1/2 ounce. So then all you do is you unscrew this, open it up, and dump this measured out amount here into your gallon container. That's what I do. And that's all there is to it. So easy. So, does it work? I think so. I think it does work. I know it has wiped out my fungus gnat issue. I used to have a few fungus gnats flying around, and it has taken care of those. Every now and then, like last night, I was sitting at my computer and I saw a fungus gnat fly by. Not like in the past, but you know, I'd have several at night because they're drawn to the computer light. But last night there was one, and I think it's because I have my fairy garden terrarium here and I'm not putting this stuff in there because I want fungus gnats in there for my pings, my pinguiculas, because that's what they eat, my carnivorous plants. They eat the fungus gnats, so I'm still going to have a few fungus gnats flying around, but not like what it was before. So yeah, Azamax. So the jury is still out on whether or not it's going to work on my thrip or spider mite issue, but I have to just continue using this. So I think I've used it twice so far, and I think I waited too long in between the first application and the second application. So now I'm going to be applying this every 5 to 6 days. It's getting, all my plants are getting this. Even if I've never seen thrips on these plants or spider mites on these plants or mealybugs on the plants, every plant is getting this every, we'll say like 6 days. Because I think I read it's like every 5 to 6 days you should treat if you're doing a soil drench. So yeah. I hope it works. I really hope it works on those thrips and spider mites. I think it will because from things I've read, reviews, it works. This stuff works. And I think it's less toxic. I don't like, because I worry about stuff like that, the toxicity of insecticides. I just don't, I'll wear gloves usually, and I don't feel like, I mean, there probably is still some toxicity to this, and I wouldn't like go out of my way to get it on me, get it on my hands, but if it does happen to get on there, I don't like freak out too much, so yeah. So I will let you know, I will let you guys know once I see that it has taken care of my thrips and spider mite issue. For sure, I will let you guys know, but like I said, from what I'm reading, this stuff works. It definitely worked on my fungus gnats, and I am just super thrilled with this. This is a June fave. This is 2023 fave. So that's Azamax. All right, so I have one final plant to share with you that is on my June favorites list, and that is a Syngonium, and it's one of these right behind me here. It's actually this beautiful pink one right here. And it's not attached to the wall, so I can just pull it right out of there. And this is my Syngonium Pink Flecked. It's just so beautiful, and it is finally, so like, I don't know, if you have Syngoniums, you know that some of them are more like bushy plants, and some of them are more trailing. Like for instance, this one is very much a trailing plant. all these that are attached to the wall, they're more trailing. And this one was just more compact. It was more bushy. But it finally has started like vining, like wanting to vine, wanting to go up. And I wanted to get more pink on this wall because I don't have a lot of pink on my pink trellis. Well, the trellis is pink, but I don't have very many plants on here that are actually pink. I don't have any on here that are actually pink. I used to, but I removed one because I think it was outgrowing the space. I have to like trim this down every few months. And if you notice, it might look a little bit different than what it was looking before. Because I had my Syngonium aurea on this side, and it went all the way to the top and across, and I had to trim it down. I had to make some changes. Another thing is I saw some spider mites in here, so I had to treat every single one of these plants. And they're also getting the Azamax treatment, of course. And they've been sprayed down. And I'm always looking to see if there's any floating around on here. And another thing I forgot. Another issue I had was I had some scale on some of these plants, which is crazy. It like wasn't there at all, and then suddenly I had scale, and it affected mostly this one right here, this Wendlandii. But it jumped to some of the other plants also. So there are some dead scales on here. They're all dried up. But yeah, I think that Azamax works on scale also. But I'm not seeing any spider mites, so that's a good thing. But you know what? I won't be surprised if some do show up back up on there. But yeah, I'm not seeing any. So yeah, we'll stop talking about my bug woes, and we'll talk more about this plant. So I think I picked this one up on Etsy a couple years ago. I think it's been a couple years now. So it took a couple years for it to finally decide that it wanted to be a vining or trailing plant. And I'm so excited about that. I've been waiting because I really wanted to get this one on the trellis. I wanted to get this one climbing on the trellis. And the nice thing is it's not like a super fast grower. So it's not like this one, or like this one, or this one, or my Syngonium three Kings. These guys are all really fast, so like in the next couple months, I'm gonna have to trim again. Whereas this one here seems like it's gonna be a slow viner. I used to want all my plants to grow super fast, and now I'm just like, slow down, you guys. Let me enjoy you on my pink trellis for a while. So yeah, so Syngonium pink flecked. Get a closer look at these leaves. It's mostly a pink. This is the best leaf right up here. This one right here. You can really see that fleck. I guess over time, see even like up here. This one. There's more flecking. So the newer leaves come out with quite a bit of flecking, whereas over time, they seem like maybe they kind of lose it a little bit, or they lose a little bit of the pink. That one feels like a new leaf down here. Must be a new growth point down here. Isn't that pretty? But yeah, so Syngonium pink flecked, one of my June favorites. So guess what? That's it. Those are all of my June favorites. 4 plants, 1 Planty thing, insecticide, 1 bug killer. Yeah, I really hope you guys enjoyed seeing my June favorites. If you did, don't forget to hit that like button. And if you haven't subscribed yet, hit that subscribe button. I make videos every week, twice a week, and I'd love for you to be a part of this community. And thanks so much for watching. Thanks so much for commenting. I love you guys. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.